I got my levels wrong there. I don't have that funky bass line. Maybe it's my voice. I don't know. Guys, what's going on? Welcome to hashtag TNT Joe5. Tech news that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. I'm your host, Jerome Ortega. Today is Wednesday, September 23rd, 2:21 p.m. and 9 seconds and counting. Guys, how's it going? Welcome. We have a lot of news to cover today. Hopefully I can get through all of it. I do have a few things I want to talk about which concerns the Pixel 4a 5G and the Pixel 5. Surprise, surprise. But hopefully we have time to get into that today. We will. I mean, regardless, I'm going to talk about it. But before I begin, let me go ahead and say hi to people in chat who came in early or on time. Paul Hendricks says, so we'll be starting in the past, present, and future. Yes, exactly. Paul, what's going on? Welcome to the stream, man. Nice to have you on. Amin is in here as well. Notification squad. I'm glad that people are getting notified. I don't know sometimes if people are getting notified with these streams, so I'm glad that you're in here. So hey Amin, right back at you. Darkman X2G, sub Jerome in chat. What's going on, Darkman? How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Sean is in here as well. Good afternoon, Jerome. Good afternoon, Sean. How's it going, man? Welcome. Oskin is on time as well. Hi, Jerome. I made it today at the right time. Yes, you did. What's going on, Oskin? What time is it over there? I'm sure it's a lot later than it is here. It's 2:22 p.m. here now. Edgar, did you change your name again? It went from Edgar Hernandez to Edgar H and then back to Edgar Hernandez. I'm just giving you shit. What's going on, Edgar? On time. Hey, everyone. I'm glad you're on time, Edgar. Welcome. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's get started. And we're going to go through the first story here. We have quite a few stories to go over. So the first story I have here is from Ars Technica. And this was an event today. I don't even keep up anymore with all the events Samsung has and their 18 million phones. So was there an event for this, or did they just send a press release out? I haven't read this article, so I have no idea on all the details involving it. But this article says Samsung's Galaxy S20 Fan Edition, that's not a handful to say. Galaxy S20 Fan Edition is a 120 hertz phone for $699. Samsung does value with a 120 hertz Snap 865 device. Is that a value? I'm going to bring this up. Is $700 a value? I mean, yeah, I'm sitting here yesterday saying $650 is a fair price for a Pixel 5 with a Snap 765, but it really isn't. Maybe $600 is the better deal. So yeah, maybe $700 is a deal with a Snap 865 with a 120 hertz screen coming from Samsung. But let's see what other specs it has. So here are a few shots from it. It looks like it has a multitude of colors. Which color would you pick? Would you even buy a Samsung phone? Do we have Samsung fans in here? Are any of you... I know we have some Samsung fans in here. I think Brian has a Note 10 Plus. Who else has a Samsung? I know a couple people do. Couple other shots of the phone. Has a tiny front selfie cam, it looks like. This also looks like a gigantic screen. Triple rear camera. Somebody scratching their head. So it has an ultra wide camera, a wide angle, which this is your main shooter, and then a macro, an 8 megapixel macro. So today Samsung held its third product event in a month. It's third product event in a month. So they held an event and a half. Oh, in a month and a half. Okay. To launch the Galaxy S20 FE, a value-oriented take on the company's flagship smartphone line. If these Samsung phones are getting hard to keep track of, they're getting very hard to keep track of. That's because by our count, this is the company's 11th quote-unquote flagship smartphone for 2020. 11 flagships? Remember when car companies had one flagship car? Phone manufacturer, Samsung has 11 flagships for 2020 after the Exynos and Qualcomm versions of the Galaxy S20, S20 Plus, S20 Ultra, Note 20, and Note 20 Ultra. Yeah, you don't want to make it confusing for your consumer? Well, Samsung, that's not what they want to do. Samsung's marketing approach is, let's make 8,000 phones in every configuration possible that will satisfy every user possible. Well, where's my configuration? I want stock Android with your hardware. Give me that configuration. How does Samsung have 8 million different combinations of phones and they don't have the version that I want? That's what I want. I want a version with your hardware and stock Android. I don't think that's a lot to ask Samsung, is it? Apparently it is. They can make so many phones, but they can't make that one specific one. This particular model seems worth keeping track of, though, since Samsung aims to bring some premium smartphone features down from the stratospheric price of earlier models. So here's what you can get for $700. A 6.5-inch 2400 by 1080 OLED. It's 120 hertz refresh rate, just like the $900 OnePlus 8 Pro. And then 2, the display is flat instead of the distorted curved screens that usually ship on high-end Android phones. The reason that's getting pointed out is the fact that a flat screen, as opposed to a display with a curved screen, helps prevent from accidental touches. The one issue that I've had when it comes to curved screens, a la my I'm pointing there because I think it's there somewhere. My TCL 10 Pro that has a curved screen, I would get accidental touches on it. I've had that issue with past Samsung phones. I think my S9 did that. My S8 even. S8 was curved too. Anyway, curved screens open up a can of worms when it comes for accidental touches. Some people say they don't have those touches or those accidental touches, but I don't know. I get them and they're annoying, and I would rather have a flat display instead of a curved one. So it says here in the US, here we go. So that's right. The US is only going to get it. The US is going to get the Snapdragon version, and then everywhere else is going to get the Exynos version, which I think people who are getting the Exynos variants are not happy about because of performance. I don't know, support, anything else. Anyway, so in the US, the phone gets a Qualcomm Snap 865, 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, and a 4,500 milliamp hour battery. The phone has wireless charging, an optical, not ultrasonic fingerprint reader, NFC, a micro SD slot, IP68 dust and water resistance, ships with Android 10. For cameras, you have a 12 megapixel main camera, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and an 8 megapixel 3x telephoto. I felt like I said that sentence messed up. For cameras, you have a 12 megapixel main camera, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and an 8 megapixel 3x telephoto, 3x optical. The front camera is a 32 megapixel sensor in a hole punch display cutout. The back is plastic, while the front is Gorilla Glass. The FE stands for Fan Edition. The Note 7, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, yeah. So they last used Fan Edition when the Note 7 started exploding in people's pockets. So overseas, Samsung customers in Europe, India, and various other territories often get stuck with the company's inferior Exynos SoCs instead of the Qualcomm Snap chips that the US, China, and other countries get. Sorry to people in Europe, India, and various other countries. Samsung fans are so unhappy with the Exynos models that they stated that they started a petition titled "Stop Selling Us Inferior Exynos Phones" that has so far garnered over 45,000 signatures. So with the Fan Edition, Samsung seems to be actually listening to fans and selling Qualcomm versions alongside the Exynos models. If we pick the German Samsung site as an example, the S20 FE comes in a 4G Exynos 990 and 5G Snap 865 version. So there, I guess they are helping customers out, or they're listening to their customers to an extent. Speaking of here we go. I already saw Verizon in here, and I was like, okay, well, I think you guys know that I do not care for Verizon one bit. Speaking of 5G, the US version and the 5G version, hold on. Speaking of 5G, the US version and the 5G version internationally both mean sub 6 gigahertz 5G. The US is also getting a Verizon exclusive model because we all know that Verizon exclusives are the best kind of phones to get. If I could recommend anybody a phone to get, you need to get a Verizon exclusive. Also, don't listen to the last 10 seconds of anything I just said. I was being completely sarcastic. Don't buy Verizon exclusive phones, please. So it says here we go. So the name of this Verizon one is called the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE 5G UW. That UW is for ultra wideband. Verizon speak for millimeter wave 5G. All right, let me make this a little smaller there because I'm not getting the whole. Here we go. Millimeter wave is a version of 5G responsible for all the speed test records the carriers like to hype up, but millimeter wave networks are so difficult to implement that carriers have admitted millimeter wave can't scale beyond cities. Yeah, so is millimeter wave faster than sub 6 gigahertz 5G? Yes, but is it being implemented well? No. Do you have to stand right in front of a tower to get it to work? Yes. Do you have to like lick the tower, put your tongue on the tower, hold your phone a certain way to get those speeds? Yes. That's exactly what you have to do. And you have to pay more money. Do you have to pay more money? Do you have to pay more money for this? I want this to be a yep. So Even Verizon only has 4% millimeter wave coverage over its network. All right, let me say this again. So if you want this version, this 5G millimeter wave version from Verizon, the Verizon exclusive model, if you want that super fast millimeter wave, right now it is getting 4% millimeter wave coverage. So good luck getting that coverage in there. But not only that, if you want this phone, the Samsung Galaxy S20 Fan Edition 5G Ultra Wideband is $750, a $50 premium over the regular Samsung Galaxy S20 Fan Edition 5G. So not only are they going to pretend that you're going to get this super fast 5G that you probably won't even have access to, but you got to pay more money up front. You got to pay more money than the regular version. Would I be safe to say that this version from Verizon will also have its own Verizon bloatware on it? I wouldn't be surprised. Am I safe to say that because it's going to have its own bloatware and whatever on it, that it's probably going to take longer to update when it comes to updates? Probably. Don't quote me on that, but I would assume that it would probably take longer to get an update over the regular S20 Fan Edition from Samsung. It's such a long name. I'm making sure I'm saying it right. Okay, so I'm done ranting about Verizon. Let's continue. $700 for a 120 hertz Snap 865 phone sounds like a great deal. Offering a more value-oriented flagship seems like the right move in a depressed, coronavirus-ridden economy. This move also feels like it puts Samsung in direct competition with OnePlus, which in the past has owned the Android value for money crown, but has slowly let its prices creep up. OnePlus does not really have an answer to the FE right now. They don't. Since the 120 Hertz 8 Pro is a whopping $900, but OnePlus's next phone, the OnePlus 8T, is also speculated to bring a 120 Hertz display, more down market, and will be announced October 14th. So, the first thing that I think about when I read something like this is what can compete for $700. There are a lot of other phones that you can buy for $700. Don't be surprised I'm talking about this. The one thing I always talk about is it worth the money? This is a phone that has a lot of specs for $700. You're going to get the Snap 865. You're going to get 120 hertz refresh rate, a 4,500 milliamp hour battery. It comes with wireless charging. It looks like there's a lot to this phone for $700, but I feel that you can still get other phones, I think, at least for a decent deal. So if we dig down into the specs here, because I like, yes, I'm pulling the specs up for it. You get, again, 128 gigs of internal storage with 6 gigs of RAM and a 4,500 milliamp hour battery, a 6.5 inch display with a 120 hertz refresh rate. If you compare the OnePlus 8, though, the OnePlus 8 price is at the same $700 right now if you wanted it. So for $700, you're both going to get a Snap 865. The OnePlus 8 will give you a little more RAM. And then I think the thing to think about is also the software experience. Are you okay with Samsung's UI? To be fair, I don't know where OnePlus is going with their UI at this point. Is it going to be cleaner and more stock-like than what Samsung is going to have on their S20 Fan Edition? Sure. But I don't know how much is changing with Oxygen OS 11. So the battery is a little smaller on the OnePlus 8, 4,300 milliamp hours instead of 4,500. I don't believe the OnePlus 8 is dust and water resistant. It doesn't have wireless charging. So things to consider as well. The OnePlus 8 also is a 90 hertz refresh rate instead of 120 hertz. Is it 90 hertz? Yeah, 90 hertz refresh rate. So maybe it's not the most fair comparison. Maybe at that price point, $700 is better on this Galaxy S20 Fan Edition if you can live with Samsung's UI. Yeah, they both have like under display or in display fingerprint readers. The OnePlus 8 does have fast charging though at 30 watts. I think the S20 has what, 15 or 18 or whatever it is in terms of the battery. 15-watt charging. So I don't know. I think $700 is still, I don't know. I'm trying to think if this phone is worth it. I think, so for me, it's hard because I'm so biased on Pixel phones. I just automatically think I'm not going to have stock Android. I'm not going to have the camera experience that I'm going to get on a Pixel phone. I don't even know what cameras are going to be better on this. I would assume, am I right in assuming that the S20 Fan Edition is probably going to have better cameras than the OnePlus 8? I think it would. At $700, you got to think about what is important to you and what's worth it. I mean, you can also think about if you should be paying $700 for a phone. You could probably save a couple more $100 and get something that doesn't have an 865, get an 855 plus chipset, but then you won't have that 5G that everybody's raving about, which might not be really important right now. But yeah. So I just thought I would bring these up. Everybody's talking about this S20 Fan Edition. If you're a fan of it, that's not the words I wanted to come out with. If you're excited about it, we'll talk about it. I mean, I'm going to go through chat in a second here. But I want to like kind of continue on because I had like a couple things to talk about when it comes to this, because the upcoming phone from OnePlus, the OnePlus 8T, could give this S20 Fan Edition a run for its money. This is a weird picture to use. There we go. This one looks nice. So yes, the S20 Fan Edition, I think on paper might have an edge or two over the current OnePlus 8 phone, right? Because even though they're both priced at the same price point, I think the S20 Fan Edition might have a little more to it. But the upcoming OnePlus 8T, which is going to be announced in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you might as well, if you're thinking about the S20 Fan Edition, wait and see what the OnePlus 8T is going to come with and what price point it's going to be set at. I'm going to get into chat in a second, but I just want to like kind of, well, no, we'll go into chat. Let's go into chat. Let me say hi to everybody that's in here. Let me scroll up. Real quick, guys, if you have not had a chance, please do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up button. It's a way to support. I appreciate it. If you are not a subscriber, I don't know what you're waiting for because I stream weekdays at 2 p.m. Central right here on this channel. So feel free to hit that subscribe button as well. So, okay. I'm going to be going through chat. I don't think I'm going to be getting through everything at this point, but let me see here. Paul says, Jerome, while you're in chat, does that mean you're already out of May? Yeah, the makeup people left already. I gave them hell. Darkman says, awesome value for an 865, 120 hertz 5G phone. I mean, yeah, for $700, the fact, so I was thinking about it and I was like, yeah, $700 is still a lot of money, but here I am talking about spending $650 for a Pixel 5. And this already has a much better chipset, a bigger battery, a 120 hertz display. It does. It has a lot going for it at a $700 price point, especially if the Pixel 5 is going to be priced at $650. This is why Google, hello, Google, I'm talking to you. This is why you need to price the Pixel 5 at $600. Please, $599. That's what I want the Pixel 5 to be. We're going to talk about the Pixel 5 a little later. I just want to get through chat and say hi to everybody. Deepak Murthy is in here. Hello. What's going on, Deepak? How you doing, man? Oskin, hey Jerome, today you got around 10 subs. I haven't noticed. That's because of me. I share the link of the channel to all my contacts and on Instagram too. Oskin, thank you. You don't have to do that, but I appreciate that, Oskin. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. All right. Darkman says, yeah, there we go. Samsung fan here. I don't mean to offend any Samsung fans. I want Samsung to give me a stock Android phone with their hardware because I'm very jealous of their hardware. I think their hardware is great. Deepak says the S20 Fan Edition will be a Pixel 5 and OnePlus 8T competitor, especially at a $700 price point. I can see that. Pratyush, what's going on? I haven't seen you in a minute. Finally, I decided to buy the S20 Fan Edition or the OnePlus 8T if the S20 Fan Edition has the Snap 865 in India. But didn't this say it's not going to come with it? Or am I wrong there? Is it something else? Team Varai, what's going on, man? Hi, everyone. Just chilling, watching TNT Jofi and playing Animal Crossing. Hope y'all are good. I've heard Animal Crossing is one of the biggest addicting games. I heard it's such a time suck. By time suck, I mean you literally are just sucked into playing it for hours and hours. That's what I've heard. Samsung Dex is clutch. I forgot. I've heard of it. What's Dex again? I forgot. Please remind me. Amin says that person pictured is scratching their head because they're wondering why why Samsung would release your savage. I mean, Damien Wadadley, how's it going, man? Is there waterproofing on the S10 Fan Edition? There is. IP68 dust and water resistance. Damien, welcome, by the way. Did I say welcome already? I forget. Vito Viziato, how's it going, man? I mean, at $700, Samsung is giving their S20 Fan Edition a 120 hertz screen refresh rate, 6.5-inch display, 3 cameras, bigger 4,500 milliamp hour battery, and the Snap 865 processor, and the Pixel 5 lacks all of that at the same price. Well, not at the same price. Hopefully not at the same price, because this is why the Pixel 5 needs to be at $600. But Vito, yes, you're absolutely correct. Like, as I was talking about it, I was like, wait a minute, this isn't a bad deal at all. No, it's a very good point, and I appreciate you bringing that up. All of you guys bringing this up. Darkman says this model competes directly with the iPhone 12. I can see that. Oskin says, me too, Jerome. I need a stock Android Samsung device. It's never going to happen. That's the problem. Okay, let me scroll down. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to get through everything, especially if I want to get to all of the stories today. But I just want to make sure I do say hi to everybody. Raf B, what's going on? Wednesday, baby. What's up, everyone? What's going on, Raf B? Nice to have you in here. Pratyush says, yeah, if Samsung brings the Snapdragon variant to India, OnePlus will be killed by the S20 FE. Not as easy as OnePlus to unlock the bootloader, but not that difficult. That's a good thing to know, though. Gandek, what's going on, man? Welcome. It's such a marketing trick, putting higher megapixel front cameras on the more budget phones. Yeah, I can see that. They aren't generally better than the 10 megapixel ones on the flagship Notes or the S20s. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Megapixels doesn't mean everything. And it's a marketing thing, like something I talk about a lot here. That's why I want to keep making sure we get the bullshit out of the way. We make sure that we get the misinformation out of the way. Paul says Exynos here, so that's a hard no. There you go. Yeah, Oskin feels the same way. Give us a Snapdragon SoC in India and no competitor for you here. Yep, Pratyush says the same thing. Big no with Exynos. Brian, what's going on, man? Yo, Jerome fam, just wanted to share. Got a buddy in South Africa. Has a P40, gets 2.5 gig down. Wow. Why does my P40 not get that? I don't get that speed here. I thought 5G was so good here in the States. Look at that though. 2.5 gigs down, that's ridiculous. And 1.5 gigs up, that's almost asynchronous. That's crazy. Those are crazy speeds. Why don't we have that here in the States? Hello, FCC. FCC is going to shut my channel down because the FCC, all they care about is money. So yeah, we're not going to get those speeds for a while. How does South Africa have? That's crazy. Those are crazy speeds. Wow. Thank you for sharing that, Brian. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Team Verizon says Exynos ruined my experience with the Galaxy S9 back in 2019. Horrible battery after the Pi update. What a shame. Yeah, that sucks. I can only imagine. Damon, right? God damn it. Damon Moses. Hopefully I said that right. Again, I think I said that before. Got to get them exclusives. No, don't get those exclusives. Paul says, but I'd slap a Pixel ROM on it, but I'll have to wait for a developer to create it. And I'm sure they would. I would love to. I need to start rooting again. It's been a minute. Deepak Murthy says millimeter wave is still useless. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where it's useful yet, but I don't think it's here. I don't think it's here. Pratyush says, man, I dodged a bullet with Exynos. Was about to buy the S10. My friend bought it before me. He was charging the phone like 3 times a day. Really, it affects battery that bad as well? That's crazy. Wyatt Wolford is here. Hello. Wyatt Wolford with your very cute dog. How's it going, Wyatt? How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Paul says licking the antenna mast in COVID circumstances is the only way to get rid of people who buy that crap. Oskin says, guys, like the video. You might have forgotten to do so. Thank you, Oskin. Yeah, guys, like the video. It's a way to help. It's a way to support. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Mauricio Salazar Rosas. Hello. What's going on, Mauricio? Nice to have you on here. Darkman X2G says OnePlus is copying Samsung One UI and the 8T looks like an S20. So this is what people have been saying, and I haven't had a chance to look at Oxygen OS 11 yet, but is Oxygen OS 11 that similar to Samsung One UI? That doesn't sit well with me. That makes me not want to use it. I think I'm just so much of a Pixel fanboy that I just don't want to deal with it. Pixel King, his first reply, shit, it has the same specs. That means the S20 and Note are garbage. These look like they have way better colors. I mean, see, this is what I'm talking about as well. A lot of people are just, this is why I talked about this yesterday. This is why I was hoping that Google, instead of adding all this premium build shit on it, recycled aluminum, dust and water resistance, wireless charging, 90 hertz refresh rate, why add all that in there? Remove all that. Save the money from all that. If you want to go ahead and add 5G because it's a marketing thing, whatever, but then put the 865 in there instead. Get rid of all that extra shit you added in there and put the 865 in there. Call it a day. I think I would have rather had that for the Pixel 5 and that's why I'm going to be talking about this later on the show, is the Pixel 4a 5G and the Pixel 5 are nearly identical when it comes to specs. And the only thing you're buying on the Pixel 5 in a lot of respects are for the niceties, not the necessities. I coined that term. No one else can use that. If you want the niceties, if you want the luxury stuff, you buy the Pixel 5. Yes, we can talk about form factor and all that, but we're going to get into that later. Otherwise, the Pixel 4a 5G, at least from what I've read, is going to be pretty much exactly the same as the Pixel 5. And it's going to be probably at least $100 less, maybe $150 less, maybe $200 less. But we'll talk about that in not a minute, but maybe like half an hour from now. All right. All right, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not going to get to everything. I'm like scrolling down. I'm just making sure I don't miss anyone. Pixel King, by the way, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you, man. Yeah, Deepak says Oxygen OS is becoming a One UI ripoff. Why? That's the thing. I don't know why either. Okay. There you go. Darkman says I just pre-ordered a white S20 fan edition. There you go. Darkman, what did you own before that? What are you rocking right now? I haven't I don't know if I've asked you that. Maybe you've told me. I don't remember. Pixel King says it's an advantage, but why have the S20 and the Notes? It's not making any sense. Samsung SE fan edition has better colors. It just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, I mean, they have 1 million phone models. I think that's an issue. There are too many goddamn phones from Samsung. But hey, like how I have no room to talk. They have a whole marketing team. They market a lot of their shit. They sell a ton of phones. So good on Samsung. Malcontent. Hi, Jerome. Hi, Malcontent. Nice to have you on the stream. Welcome. Yeah, Gandex says colors are purely marketing. Yeah. Brian says I'm a Samsung fanboy. Brian, what kind of phone are you rocking? I'm curious. Let me know. I didn't realize you were a Samsung fanboy. Brian, I'm gonna convert you to a Pixel guy. It's gonna happen. It probably won't. Not until not until Google gets their shit right. Okay, let me scroll down here. Fear the Roof 42 says, Fear the Roof 42. Hi. Wait, did I say hi? I might have. I forget. I had an S9 Plus. It was a nightmare. Screen froze to the point that Samsung themselves didn't know how to help. When it did work, the pics were so smoothened, look like cartoons. It's a no for Sammy for me. Fair enough. Fair enough. William Maya, how's it going, man? What's up, everyone? What's going on, William? Nice to have you on the stream. Let me see. William also says FHD instead of Quad HD on the Pixel 5 is kind of a letdown. OnePlus AT is looking more and more appealing. We're going to talk about that in a minute. I know. I knew you were going to say that, Damon. You say it right every time and you're always unsure. It's because it's like I try to say hi to everybody and I forget. I'm sorry, Damon, but welcome again. Sean says Google's objective is being a powerhouse in the mid-range department. I'm not mad at it. It's better than flagship flops. I can't argue with that either. Yeah. I mean, that's a Pixel fanboy talking to you guys right now. Team Rice says One UI is so colorful and childish and whatnot. I don't know if it's the whatnot that you kind of did it for me. What? Fear the Roo says, since Jerome gave me a $5 super chat, I smashed that like button. I didn't. I am not giving people money. That's purely a lie right there. Malcontent says, yes, the latest Oxygen OS betas look a lot like One UI. Very disappointing. That is disappointing. Again, that's gonna stray people away from buying a OnePlus phone, I think. I'm pretty sure. Sean says Samsung is basically selling the same phone 3 to 4 times. I can see that as well. Oddweight, hello hotness. You're not talking to me, Oddweight. Well, welcome to the stream, Oddweight. Nice to have you on here. Damon says Samsung is oversaturating the market. I really don't like it. I mean, I can see that, but we don't have control. All we can do here is sit, bitch, moan, and talk about the news. All right. Oskin says, I wish Pixel brings back the Pixel exclusives in the Pixel 5. Those exclusives, I just don't see them being exclusives at this point anymore. Oddweight says, I don't get Samsung's strategy. Throw everything but the kitchen sink. Yeah, or a better way of saying it is throw what is it? Oh yeah, throw everything at the wall. Wait, how does that go? It's like you throw all the shit at the wall and see what sticks. Something like that. And maybe that's what they're doing too. So Miles Morales, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Do you think people who actually are so impressed with Pixel 4a as it is so budget friendly and nice as well would actually go for the 5 and the 4a 5G? So I don't, Miles, are you new here? Because I have the Pixel 4a and I'm actually very impressed with it. I'm impressed with it because of the money, the bang for the buck, the $350 price point for a phone with like great aesthetics, a great form factor, battery. I say this all the time. People who are regulars know this. Would they actually go for a 5 and a 4a 5G? I think people who want a bigger display and a bigger battery, so you got to think about this as well. The 4a 5G is going to have a faster processor. Might not be faster, like a ton faster, but it's going to be a little more powerful. It's going to have a second camera on it. It's going to have an ultra wide camera on it. So I don't know if people who have a 4A would automatically say, I want a 4A 5G or I want a Pixel 5, but I can see them giving their 4A to someone else because it's such a great value and say, well, this phone is actually really that good that I think I'll spend the extra $150 for the 4A 5G and get the one with the ultra wide cam, the faster processor. I can see that happening. The bigger display, the bigger battery. I can totally see that happening. I think it still might be a very small percentage of people, but I think most people who buy a 4A at $350, I think are going to be content with it. They're not going to be looking to upgrade. They're not going to be looking. They're going to be fine with it. I think this is targeted at your more everyday user who doesn't use a ton of shit on their phone. They just want a good camera with a good battery and do the basics. And by basics, I mean text, listen to music, surf the web, watch porn every once in a while. You know, the basics. Miles Morales, welcome to the stream. Oh, Brian says he has a 9 Plus. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you would. I don't know. I should just let you try it one day. I used to have a 9 Plus, by the way. Edgar's quoting me. Niceties, not necessities. Pixel Jerome. You guys are crazy. All right. Oskin says OnePlus says that the stock Android is not economical with their big screen devices. With stock Android, there are more black space in the UI. Yeah, so that's what I've read. I've read that, but I don't know if that's 100% the truth. I think a lot of that is more like they want to make the UI their own. They want it to look like a OnePlus phone. They want people to know that when you use a OnePlus phone, it's going to look like this. It's going to have these colors. It's going to have this kind of UI on it or whatever. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe they are going to make it a lot user-friendly. Maybe they are going to make it a lot more one-handedness or whatever. But I don't know. I just like stock Android. I don't think I have much of an argument there except that. And that's not a fair argument because me liking stock Android is subjective. It might not be for everybody, and I can understand why people want other things, but yeah. So, yeah, Brian says, I have T-Mobile, down to try something new. Yeah, man. You know what? Maybe when I get my Pixel 4a 5G or Pixel 5, I'll let you take the Pixel 4a for a round or two. Oddweight says the icons on One UI are obnoxious. I haven't even seen them yet. All right, let me see here. Taman says, throw the baby out with the bathwater is what you're looking for. Actually, I've never heard that one. Wait, I might have. I didn't know that's what that meant, though. Is that the same thing? Throw the baby out with the bath. Yeah, because you're just, yeah, I could see that. Don't throw your baby out with the bathwater, guys. If you have a baby, don't throw the baby out with your bathwater. That's not, I don't recommend that. You didn't hear that from me. Well, no, you heard me not. Okay, I'm moving on. Let me see here. Oddweight says, every time I come to the stream, iPhones are looking like better alternatives. Android phones are getting too expensive and confusing. So here's the thing, Oddweight. When this iPhone 12 mini comes out, this is going to be a real test of where these phones belong. Because I think the iPhone 12 mini, especially if the iPhone 12 mini prices at $650, it's going to give a lot of other phones a run for its money, especially when it comes to the camera, or at least for someone like me who values camera as a priority for sure. Baloo Life. Hey man, what's going on, Baloo Life? Nice to see someone from Twitch watching me. Doesn't happen often. Sometimes Six does, but welcome. You're probably the only person watching on Twitch right now, but I appreciate it. If you're still here, I don't know if you're still here, and if you actually enjoy listening to Tech Talk. So welcome. Mr. Two Phones says, I love my OnePlus 7 Pro. There you go. I wish I had a OnePlus 7 Pro. That's something I always wanted to have, use the pop-up selfie cam. I'm jealous, but I'm glad you love it, man. I'll have to try that phone out one day if I have the money, if I have the resources to do so. Fear the Roof 42 says, Jerome, you're right about porn. That's the reason I need a one-handed phone. It makes the articles easier to scroll through. Thank you, Fear the Roof 42, for your feedback. That was very important. That's what I needed to know. Pratyush says Samsung India has all the effing specs on site for the fan edition, but not the processor. Of course. You know why? Pratyush? Because they are probably going to put the Exynos in it. That's probably why. That's why they're not saying that it doesn't. That's why they're not saying if it has or if it doesn't have the Snapdragon. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully they will put the Snapdragon in there. But reading what you said, oh man, yeah, fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed for you. Craig Glover, how's it going, man? I don't think I've seen you in here before. Have I? Do you think the Pixel 5 will have a higher storage option? When I bought my Pixel 2, you could get 64 or 128, so maybe 128 or 256. So at least from what I've heard, Craig, there has been no official announcement or even leak about 256 gigs of internal storage. But I would imagine for Google to have a 4A a 4A 5G and a 5 to have 3 different pixels or have three different Pixel products in their lineup, you would think that at least one of them, their premium model, would have something more than 128 gigs of internal storage. So also, fingers crossed that the Pixel 5 will have at least or up to 256. I would love to see 512, but don't hold your breath. I'll say that to you as well. Don't hold your breath. I would lean more on the side of yes, they will probably have 256 gigs of internal storage, but don't hold your breath. Craig, welcome to the stream, man. Nice to have you on here. Ishmael Harden, how's it going, man? Nah, they should give us everything in the Pixel, including the 865. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed. I wouldn't be opposed at all. Saksham, Tawari, I haven't seen you in a minute. How's it going, man? I'm looking for an upgrade to my OnePlus 6, but with the current crop of flagships, I don't find them priced sensibly. Expected the price of the OnePlus 8T is too high for the non-pro version. So here's the thing, though, too, Saksham, is I don't think there's going to be a OnePlus 8T Pro. I think there's just going to be a OnePlus 8T, and I think they're going to put everything on that phone. They're going to put all the high-end specs on there. I think maybe not. Maybe they will have a OnePlus 8T Pro, but I don't think you're going to get a OnePlus 8T for any less than $700. I would assume the OnePlus 8T is going to be $700. Is that $700 worth it? Maybe. We're going to talk about it in a minute, but Saksham, welcome to the stream. Welcome. All right. Gandex says you could wait for the 12. I just went with the 11 now because I got a deal and T-Mobile 5G sucks. Sub 6 sucks from my testing. It's no good for me either. Same thing. What is it? Paul says, no, the article stated for an additional cost, you can get the Snapdragon. Yeah, I think I did read that part. So yeah, maybe you can in India, maybe. Or maybe Paul's right, and yes, you can. You just got to pay extra. G Burial. Am I saying that right? Burial? Am I saying that right? Welcome to the stream. I'm looking at your hat on your avatar. That's not a Packers hat, is it? I'm from Chicago, so like, there's no Packer fan. The Chicago police firefighter, whatever. It doesn't look like a Packer. I just see green and yellow, and I don't. Yeah. There's no Wisconsin people allowed in here. I'm just kidding. I just don't think the 5 will be better than my 4XL other than 5G. I don't really consider that an upgrade. And that's fair enough. That's totally fair because your current chipset on your Pixel 4 XL will be better than what the Pixel 5 will be. 5G is not, and like 5G right now, I don't consider 5G as a huge upgrade, at least here in the States. Brian was saying that he had a friend in South Africa who's getting like insane speeds with 5G, but here in the States, it's not a point of contention. The 5G here isn't even comparable right now. It's not even a thing. But yeah, I can see that the 4XL at least will have still a bigger battery on it. Bigger display. People prefer face unlock over the fingerprint reader. Just depends on the person. So yeah, I don't know if I would consider it an upgrade as well. I think it's a more well-balanced package that I can maybe recommend depending on the price. If the Pixel 5 is $700, I'm going to rage because oh my God. Hopefully it's not $700. It can't be. Anyway, let me, G Burial, welcome to the stream. I'm sorry. I don't know what else I was. Oh, Cleveland. Well, there you go. Cleveland. How's it going, man? We're kind of neighbors. Kind of. Let me see here. Sorry, I'm looking through chat. I'm going to have to like get back to the stories, guys, because we're 50 minutes in. I haven't even these streams, they've been getting longer and longer. Craig Glover says, thanks. Yes, I'm new. Been enjoying your stream, so thought I'd join the chat. Fellow Pixel fanboy, Craig Glover, thank you. Thank you for chiming in and saying hi. Sometimes I wonder if YouTube is still showing me in the algorithm, so I appreciate that. Thank you for stopping by. Malcontent says, I saw Dave Lee's new video today on the Pixel 5 and the 4a 5G. Aluminum mock-ups of both phones, and the 4a 5G had only one camera sensor. Oh, really? No, because I think no, I'm pretty, I'm pretty sure the 4A 5G we're going to talk about it because I haven't even read the article yet, but I'm pretty sure the 4A 5G will have 2 cameras on it. If the 4A 5G only has the main shooter, I'm not going to buy it because I already have my Pixel 4A. There's no point in me buying a 4A 5G. I'll just buy the Pixel 5. Yeah. There's no point. Why would I buy a 4A 5G then? I hopefully that's not the case. Gandex says I did a speed test comparing the OnePlus 7 Pro on LTE and the 8 on 5G. The LTE got 49 down while 5G got 32. This was during real world usage at a pumpkin farm. Could be just a Chicago thing. So here's the thing, Gandek. It's the same for me. I tried it on my P40 Pro Plus, and I'm getting similar. I'm not even getting 49 down. I don't get good speeds on this. I don't know if it's the bands or whatever because it's international. So I don't know. Yeah, since Jerome also said it's no good for him either. It isn't. All right. Oskin says, "See, Jerome, you got new." You got new viewers. So thank you, Oskin. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Oh, Saints. There you go. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. Okay. Oh, $5 from Brian. $5 super chat. Time for that OT money. Thank you, Brian. We're not at TNT Joe-Fi OT just yet, but in about 9 minutes we will be. But Brian, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much. Guys, I'm gonna need to get back into the stories. I can't get. Let me just say hi to people that I haven't said hi to yet. Dugumeister is in here. The 5G variant of the Fan Edition has the Snap 865, so that might be a better reason to pay the $100 extra instead of the 5G alone. Wait, what are we talking? Yeah. I mean, we did talk about that. Am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing something. Anyway, Dugameister, how's it going, man? Welcome. Who else am I? Zane Vague says, sorry, Jerome, I'm a Vikings fan. I'll leave the chat. No. Vikings. I mean, we're in the same conference, but that's okay. I'm just not a Packer fan. For some reason, when I see people wearing a Packer hat or shirt, I like internally, I'm just like, go home. You don't belong here in Chicago. Why are you here wearing that hat or shirt or jersey? Lethal Lawnmower. I have made my return. Lethal, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you again. Welcome. Malcontent says, check out Dave's video from a few hours ago at 2:20. I will. I'll check it out in a little bit. So guys, again, Brian, thank you. There's my thank you emoji. Thank you again so much. Real quick, before I move on to the next story, I got to do it because it's a way to support. If you haven't had a chance, please hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button, hit that thumbs up button. It is a way to support. I do appreciate it. I do stream 2 p.m. Central's weekdays. So hit that subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber, I know that sounds marketing and gimmicky, but it is the only way that I feel like I can grow this channel at this point because YouTube hates me. So I do appreciate it for anybody who's watching. And last but not least, if you are in the chat, if you've noticed people have green in their name, they have a like red Chicago star next to their name. That's because they are part of the Phone Jerome fam, and you could be one too for as little as 99 cents a month. All you got to do is click that join button. You will get the red Chicago star. You'll get to use custom emoji. You'll get your name in every single one of my intros and outros of my live streams. And you'll also get access to my private Discord where we talk about random anything, tech, like fitness, whatever. Anyway, it's just a way to support. If you can't find that blue join button, you can go to youtube.com/Phone Jerome/join. That is the only marketing thing. That is the only marketing thing you're going to get at this point. If you can't, I totally understand. It's just a way to support for people who want to support extra. That's also why I say hit the thumbs up or hit the subscribe because it's free. It doesn't cost anything. And it helps me, I would say tremendously, but I don't know if it really helps me tremendously, but it helps. So I appreciate it. All right, guys, let's move on. I have this story here. Here we go. I have this article from Android Central that says, are you happy with in-screen fingerprint sensors in 2020? No. Moving on. So this other article, from Android Central says OnePlus teases 65 watt warp charge for the OnePlus 8T. So we're going to talk about the 8T. This 8T I think is going to be announced on October 13 or October 14. I think they're going to talk about it here. I'm not going to get into this whole story because we're also running really low on time, but okay, October 14th. So I think the one big thing about this upcoming OnePlus 8T is the fact it's going to have a 120 hertz refresh rate, and it's going to have 65 watt wired charging. So you can charge your phone in 8 seconds, which is great. These are great things. I was being sarcastic. It's not 8 seconds. It's more like 2 minutes. It's going to be fast. That's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, 120 hertz, 6.55 inch FHD plus display, 65 watt wired charging. And then there's a teaser for it. And here is the teaser actually. See, I queued it all up. I'm not going to be able to play the sound for you, but it's just a very like quick video. And I don't know, they're showing older OnePlus models here. And it's like, ooh, colors, explosions, never settle. And then MKBHD. And then a woman here. This is a very clickbait thumbnail stuff. Anyway, yeah. So what I was trying to transition to was the fact that yes, we spent a lot of time talking about the Galaxy S20 Fan Edition and how it looks like it's a pretty good price for. I was going to say it's a pretty good price for the money. It's a pretty good deal for what you can get for the price. Kind of like a good bang for your buck. If you can live with Samsung's UI, if you're a fan of it, you know, whatever. So there's competition though. And I think this competition is going to be the OnePlus 8T. So let's talk about this OnePlus 8T and talk about how this is probably going to be a direct competitor to the Galaxy S20 Fan Edition. So let me see here. I'm not going to play this because I don't want that. All right. This leak, sorry, I'm not going to go through the whole article, but this leak for the OnePlus 8T, thanks to Amazon. Oh, Amazon accidentally put their shit up. Someone just got fired. All right. So this OnePlus 8T shows a 6.5 inch, 120 hertz refresh rate, a Snapdragon 865. So right now, similar spec or the same specs as the S20 Fan Edition, a 4,500 milliamp hour battery, which is also the same size as the S20 Fan Edition, except that the 8T is going to charge at 65 watts wired. So it's going to charge a lot faster than the 15 watts on the Galaxy S20 Fan Edition. So I don't know really how long it's going to take to charge it, 40 minutes, less than that, as opposed to the S20 Fan Edition, 15 watts with a 4,500 milliamp hour battery. I'm going to assume it's going to charge for at least over an hour, hour and a half. I mean, 4,500 watts is a huge battery. And then as far as pricing, so it's showing, you know, all the cameras that it's going to have. And then they're saying the 8 gigs of RAM with 128 gigs of internal storage is around 600 pounds. And then the 12 gig RAM, 256 gig internal storage edition is 700 pounds. I don't know what that equates to in the US. I know there are people in chat that might be able to help out, but I think what my guess is the OnePlus 8T is going to probably price at $700 US. It's going to price exactly the same price as this Galaxy S20 Fan Edition. So you're going to get the same chipset. You're going to get the same refresh rate at 120 hertz. You're going to get the same battery, 4,500 milliamp hours, but you're going to get a lot faster charging, wired charging with the OnePlus 8T. But it says nothing here about it being IP68 dust and water resistant, which is something the Fan Edition has. It doesn't talk anything. It doesn't have anything about wireless charging. There is going to be more RAM though on the OnePlus 8T, 8 gigs over 6 gigs. But I think that's about it. I think the fan edition also has a micro SD slot, so you can have expandable storage. I mean, it looks like the S20 fan edition, other than not having fast charging, I think the S20 fan edition on paper has it beat. Now, when it comes to the UI experience, the software experience, what are you a fan of? Are you a fan of Samsung's One UI, or are you a fan of, well, this is going to be the OnePlus 8T that's going to have Oxygen OS 11, which is, from what I've heard, very reminiscent of Samsung's One UI. So they might have very similar UI experiences, which if you're a fan of stock Android and you were expecting that on the upcoming OnePlus 8T, I don't think you're going to get it. I think you're going to get something that's a little different. It's not going to look like stock Android. It's not what you're going to be used to. Is it a good or a bad thing? I don't know, because I haven't used it, so I can't give you my experience on it. I personally, for me, I prefer stock Android. I would have it no other way, but that's just me. So, let me see if I'm missing anything here. So a 4-camera array. And they're going to launch it on October 14th. So we don't have long to wait to see the new phone in the flesh. Yeah, and with the iPhone 12, Pixel 5, and Galaxy S20 Fan Edition all set to debut around the same time, we're in for quite the smartphone showdown this fall. There's a lot of phones that are coming, a lot more than I think I'm even having trouble keeping up with. Like, the only phone that I really care about at this point is the 4a 5G and the Pixel 5, but I got to talk about these other phones because, I mean, in a lot of ways on paper, especially if the Pixel 5 price is at $700, these phones are going to have the Pixel 5 beat in terms of like pure performance specs for sure. Let me get into, excuse me, let me get into chat real quick. I'm afraid this light is going to die on me in any second, but hopefully it'll stay for the rest of this chat stream. But if it dies, yeah, we'll do it in the dark. That sounded weird. That's what she said. Okay. What am I looking at here? We're past the hour, guys. When it's OT time, it's also after dark. It's very bright outside. Oskin says, oh, it's 1:45 a.m. God, man. Thank you for staying up late. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Jay Mills in the house. What's good, Rome? What's going on, Jay Mill? How you doing? What's good, everyone? I'd rather the in-screen fingerprint reader than the one on the back of the device. So, yes, I know. I think I touch a nerve with some people when I say that, because like I really enjoy the rear fingerprint reader. And then yesterday people were like, no, you're going backwards. Face unlock. That's the way to go. And like, I totally get it. I totally understand. This is also why I say we just need everything. Give us a rear mounted fingerprint reader, give us an in-display fingerprint reader, and then give us face unlock. Give us all three. Then I won't be talking about which one's better, because then I can use all three in whatever scenario. Because yes, sometimes in-display fingerprint reader is better than a rear. Sometimes face unlock is better than anything else. But yeah, I hear you, J Mill. Welcome. Okay. More people coming in. Oh my God, Bob Jones. Did you miss the entire part where I was talking about Packers? Is this so like I can't hate because it's a child. Bob Jones says, what's happening, Phone Jerome fam? We're good. I'm just not a Packer fan, but like I'll let this one slide. You're also a YouTube member, so I can't. Bob Jones, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Have you always had? Oh, I was gonna say, have you always? He says, sorry, had to do it. Hold on, is this your kid? Are you a Packer fan? I mean, it's okay if you are. I was just giving shit to people. It is your kid. It's my little. I'll let it slide. But it looks like you did it on purpose anyway. So, Bob Jones, welcome. Nice to see you in here. Javon Sims is in here as well. What's up, Rome? What's going on, Javon? Nice to have you on. Nice to see you guys. Tectonic is in here as well with the potato emoji. That actually, I don't know why I was going to start talking about the potato. Tectonic, welcome, man. Tectonic, welcome. That's what I meant to say. Tectonic, welcome, welcome. All right. Paul says, I'm pretty sure the AT has that 5 megapixel macro, much better than the 2 megapixel ones. Got the 5 megapixel on my Poco and it's excellent. Good to know. Good to know. I kind of brushed over it because I haven't really used the macro in a while. And yeah, but thank you for pointing that out, Paul. I appreciate it. Fear the Roof 42 says, my main concern, how are the cameras going to be on the 8T? I'm trying to this is my answer. I just don't know how good they're going to be. I really don't. I don't. J Mill says, LOL, I don't mind it on the back of the device. Just for me, I'd rather in the front on the display. Fair enough. No, fair enough, for sure. Gandex says there are phones with 2 fingerprint scanners actually on both sides of the frame for right and left-handed people. That's great. I've never even used a side-mounted one yet. I would have to try it out to really see. Okay. DJ Shark 9000. What's good, fam? What's going on, DJ Shark 9000? Nice to have you. Malcontent says that Packers baby is totally I know. I totally got trolled too. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead. We're gonna spend some time now. We're going to talk about my favorite thing to talk about in the world. You guys know what's coming. We are going to talk about the Pixel 4a 5G, and we're going to talk about the Pixel 5. This article from The Verge says the spec leak highlights the similarities and the differences. The 4a 5G may have the same processor as the Pixel 5, but a smaller battery. Yeah, well, I kind of knew that. That's because I talk about the Pixel phones all day. Okay, so I just want to point out the differences that they're trying to put here. So today there's another set of leaks, this time revealing potential specs for the upcoming Pixel 4a 5G. There will apparently be a lot of similarities between the two devices. For one thing, the 4a 5G's resolution is supposed to be the same as the Pixel 5's 2340 by 1080, but on a larger 6.2-inch screen. So that means there's going to be less PPI, pixels per inch, on the 4a 5G, but I don't think people are really going to make a big deal about that. Both phones are rumored to have the Snap 765G, a dual camera system with a 12.2 megapixel main lens and a 16 megapixel ultra wide lens and an 8 megapixel front camera. Those similar specs mean you probably won't be picking which phone is right for you based on the processor or the cameras. I think we all knew this. I'm still a bit disappointed because I was hoping the Pixel 5 was going to have better cameras. That's just me. I would have rather had better cameras than wireless charging, than IP68 dust and water resistance, than better build materials. I would have rather had better cameras. And again, it doesn't mean that the cameras are bad on the Pixel 4, 4a, the 3, the upcoming 5, but I wanted cameras that would elevate itself from the current Pixel lineup, that would elevate itself, that would compete with the upcoming iPhone 12. Because you got to be kidding me if you think that the Pixel 5 is going to beat the iPhone 12 in the camera department, because I don't think it will. I think the iPhone 12 will have a better camera when it comes to low light shots and night shots. I think the iPhone 12 will beat it in the video recording department, video stabilization. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Google figured out something to enhance the quality of the processing for the photos and videos. Maybe they did. Maybe when they got rid of, well, not when they got rid of, maybe when Mark Lavoie decided to, skip town, they hired someone else named Lark Mavoy. And Lark Mavoy was like, listen, guys, I know how to fix all the problems here. We're going to, beat the iPhone. We're going to beat it out the water. Why my sayings are off. I'm like thinking of the right things to say, and I always say the wrong shit. Anyway, I'm what I'm trying to say is I was just hoping that the Pixel 5 was gonna really upgrade their optics for this year's Pixel lineup for its premium mid-range phone. But maybe that won't happen until the Pixel 6. This is something I've said in the past too, is that Google's working on their own in-house chip or in-house chipset. So maybe that's when they're going to like go ahead and completely revamp, redo the optics, have better hardware for everything. But is that going to happen? Or are we going to say when the Pixel 6 comes out, well, maybe next year, maybe next year, maybe the Pixel 7, 8, 9, X. Do you think Google's going to call their Pixel 10 the Pixel X, just like how they did with the iPhone? Google seems to copy Apple in so many ways, and I wouldn't be surprised when the Pixel, if the Pixel makes it to its 10th iteration. Are they going to call it the Pixel 10 or the Pixel X? But anyway, let me go ahead. Let me continue on. Instead, Google is apparently making trade-offs in other areas for the 4A 5G. I think we knew about a lot of this. Actually, no, I didn't. So the 4A 5G might have a smaller 3885 milliamp hour battery and apparently won't support wireless charging or reverse wireless charging, which the Pixel 5 is supposed to. So I knew that. I knew that it wasn't going to offer wireless charging, but I didn't know about this specific battery size, 3885 milliamp hours. This isn't a huge stretch from the 4080 that the Pixel 5 is going to get. So still a very similar battery size. The Pixel 4a 5G might have 6 gigs of RAM instead of the 8 gigs expected for the Pixel 5. I think we knew that as well, or at least I've talked about it. The 4a 5G will apparently have a Gorilla Glass 3 screen instead of the Pixel 5's rumored Gorilla Glass 6 screen. So an upgrade there. And then the 4A 5G might not have, or the 4A 5G might have a 60 hertz refresh rate instead of a 90 hertz. We also knew that. Unlike the Pixel 5, it doesn't appear that the 4A 5G will be IP rated for water or dust resistance. We also knew that. This is something that I've been talking about for a while. Presumably, those trade-offs mean that the Pixel 4a 5G will cost less than the Pixel 5. Yes, obviously. We knew this. The only thing that looks new here is this goddamn 3885 that I didn't know about. Everything else is the same. Oh, wait, no. This Gorilla Glass 3, Gorilla Glass 6. I'm sorry, The Verge. 2 things. The rest of this we already knew. We knew this. The 4A 5G could have one clear advantage over the 5, though. Depending on your needs, it'll apparently have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, which isn't expected for the 5. We also knew that. We won't have long to wait. We won't have to wait long to figure out exactly what the differences are between the 2 phones, as Google plans to detail both of them at a September 30th event. So, okay, you know what? Before I give my thoughts, let me finish this off here. Oh, yeah, this isn't even really related. I just saw here Ace. this article is so funny after talking about the $700 Galaxy S20 Fan Edition and talking about the OnePlus 8T. After talking about these 2 phones, the OnePlus 8T and the Fan Edition, both coming in at probably $700, this $700 Pixel 5 would be embarrassing. Google, if you're going to price the Pixel 5 at $700, that's going to be embarrassing. People are going to give you shit for that when they're going to say, well, why wouldn't I just buy an S20 Fan Edition? Because I'm going to get a Snap 865 in there. Why don't I just buy a OnePlus 8T where I'm going to get a Snap 865 in there? I'm also going to get a 120 hertz refresh rate on the display. Why would I buy a Pixel 5 with a 765G? Because of the cameras? Maybe. But this is also where I would say don't buy a Pixel 5, buy a 4A 5G because they're the same goddamn phone. Just one has the niceties, the other has the necessities. We're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that because that's all I need to point out. when it comes to that. So let's talk about, what was I going to talk about? The 4a 5G and the 5. The Pixel 4a 5G and the 5. Okay. So the Pixel 4a 5G and the 5 are pretty much the same internals. Same chipset, same cameras, right? Main shooter, wide angle, ultra wide, whatever they want to call it. The differences could be the battery, 3,800 milliamp versus 4,000 milliamp, 3,885 versus 4,080, whatever. It's not that big of a difference. And you could even argue that, yeah, the Pixel 4a 5G might have a bigger display and it might eat more battery, but it doesn't have a 90 hertz refresh rate. So battery life could be comparable on the two. Totally comparable on the two. But when we talk about price, I think that's really what it comes down to is the price point of these phones. The 4a 5G is going to be priced at $500. What is the Pixel 5 going to be priced at? If it's going to be priced at $600, if it's going to be priced $100 more, I think that extra $100 wouldn't be bad for the wireless charging, for the 90 hertz refresh rate, for the better build materials. Maybe. I feel like that's subjective. I feel like that depends on the person. If you price it at $650 though, I feel like you're paying way too much. I don't know if it's worth that extra $150 because there's really no other comparison there. And if you price it at $700, then I'm just going to make fun of you. Like don't price it at $700. Please do not price the Pixel 5 at $700. I just don't think it's going to be worth it. The only other thing to point out is the fact that the Pixel 4a 5G, you'll get the headphone jack on there, like they said here. You'll also get a bigger screen. So if you are like, if you use it for more media consumption and you want a bigger display, then the 4a 5G might be up your alley. I don't think I'm missing anything else, right? Yeah, I think that's about it. Okay. So let me get into chat. Let me just make sure I am saying hi to everyone. Miles says, how do you think the Pixel 4a would age? So I'm not getting rid of my 4a. I don't know how well it's going to be a year from now. The thing is, it does well. It's not bad. It does show a little lag or stutter depending on the app I'm using. But for the most basic of basics, texting, making a phone call, watching a YouTube video, it's not bad. I just don't know what that's going to look like a year from now or 2 years from now. Will it last a year? Definitely. A year from now, I'm sure it'll still be fine. 2 years from now, after getting another update, I don't know. I don't know where that's going to be. David St. John, how's it going, David? Welcome to the stream. I'm not disappointed in the specs of the Pixel 5, but don't you think the Pixel 5 should have come with a 3-camera setup? So, David St. John, you've been here before, right? Or am I going crazy? I can't keep up with everybody. But yesterday I talked about this. I'm disappointed that it doesn't have a telephoto lens. I really was hoping that it was going to have a 3-camera setup. I don't know why they omitted it. It doesn't make sense. Also, yesterday I talked about how the specs are saying the front camera, the field of view is going from 90 to 83, which also, why are they doing that? Why is the field of view going down? Why is the field of view for the wide angle on the Pixel 4a 5G and 5, it's only 107 degrees. And they're not doing the 120 that the iPhone 11, 12, whatever is going to do. And I'm not saying that because they need to copy Apple. I just think if they want to compete with having like a wide angle lens, why not give that same kind of wideness, right, to the Pixel 5? Why is it? I feel like 107 and 120, I think that's going to be quite a difference in field of view. That I was a little confused about as well. It just seems like Google continually drops the ball. Yeah, you're preaching to the choir. Yeah, I talk about that all the time, David, for sure. By the way, good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon, David. Nice to have you on here. Appreciate you stopping by. David says, I think they should have upgraded it from an 8 to a 10 with autofocus. Yeah, someone who pointed that out yesterday. Someone pointed that out yesterday, saying that one of the issues with the front camera on the Pixel is it doesn't autofocus well. And that's actually something I didn't even realize because I don't use the front camera that much. But I didn't realize that. But yeah, I hear you. Yeah, Tectonic says the same. New cameras, please. Yeah, for sure. I don't want to buy a dedicated camera, and a lot of people don't. Like it's over there. But I have a DSLR, and I shoot with that a lot. But a lot of times, I'm usually just carrying my camera phone on me. I'm not carrying my DSLR. A lot of times I don't want to pull my DSLR out of my backpack. There's no need to when I have a phone that does pretty well when it comes to photos. Anyway, David says, I totally agree with you, Jerome. They should have put better cameras in the phone. I don't think they did a good thing by sticking with the same cameras. I don't think they did either. And so it's funny because every time I say this, every time I mention this, I get shit for it because people are like, what? The cameras are great. They're excellent cameras, but I know Google can do better. I know Google can blow the iPhone 11, 12, 13, 18 out the water. I know they can do it. Or can they? Maybe they've reached peak when it comes, and that's why Mark Lavoie left. Maybe that's why. And Mark's like, good luck. I'm going to go with Adobe. we're gonna shake things up there, and then every camera is going to be great because it's all going to be about the processor at this point. Who knows what's going to happen? Yeah, Tectonic says they've been using the same sensor forever. Candex says no. I meant to say Lark. I was trying to say Lark Mavoy. I was flipping the letters around. See what I did there? J Mill says, I hope they don't call it X. I hope they don't either. I really hope they don't. Okay. I've already got the logo for the Pixel 10. It's the Pixel. Oh, maybe I should. No, you know what they should do? They should use the I don't have my YouTube thing open. Somebody type a YouTube member. Whoever is a YouTube member on my channel, type Pixel using the Nexus X on there. That's what the Pixel should look like. Oh my God. That's what the Pixel 10 should look like. It should be Pixel, but with the Nexus X in there. Somebody please, can somebody put that in chat? Because I don't have my page open right now. Thank you. That's what it should look like. Okay, moving on. Yes, thank you, Bob Jones. Thank you. Bob says, a little off topic, but I've been wondering if Samsung is kicking themselves this year for getting rid of their iris scanning feature. Seems to be the best unlocking option these days. I didn't even think about that. That's actually a great point. And Brian usually talks about that, about bringing that back as well. I've never used it. I don't know much about it, but I would love to test it out, especially if I didn't have to take my mask off or pull it down or whatever. Yeah, would have been great. Okay, let me see here. J Mill says all the cameras on the new Pixels would be the same though. I'm actually wondering how good that ultra wide camera is going to be. I wonder if it's going to be better than the iPhone 11 Pro, because the iPhone 11 Pro's wide angle, it comes in handy. I've used it many times. I have Instagram shots on it that turn out really well, but it has issues. It's not as good as the main shooter. So I'm hoping the 4A 5G and the Pixel 5, I hope that their wide angle cameras are going to be great. Hopefully. Miles says, I think Google needs to Google enough about what people think about the older versions of Pixel before they launch the new one. Android Stud, who will sometimes come into this chat, and he was on one of my shows, and Android Stud Leo was like, he put it very simply. And when he said this, I was like, that makes sense. After he said that, I was like, I shouldn't even bitch anymore, because the way Leo said it is Google doesn't care. They don't care. Google's going to do what they want to do. And after he said that, for some reason, it was like the weight was lifted off my shoulders because I was always like, why is Google doing this? Why are they doing it? Blah, blah, blah. And then when Leo was like, Google doesn't care, I was like, oh, yeah, that's why they only sell it to like 8 countries. That's why they don't sell it to, only a select few or whatever. That's why they do what they do, because maybe they just don't care. I don't know. Big House Productions. What's going on, Big House? Nice to see you, man. Hey, Jerome and stream, listening from work. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you. Appreciate you stopping in. Okay. Paul says I'm getting some Z's now. Are you out of here, Paul? Thanks for watching, man. Thanks for stopping by as always. Okay, let me scroll down. So David St. John says, I wonder if the Pixel 5 will have the visual core, or is it the neural core or whatever? I think it will. I think that's what's going to separate it from the 4A 5G. But I think we all know that this neural core, visual core, Apple core, whatever you want to call it, I don't think it's going to be that much of a difference. I think I've tried that also in the past, to turn it on and turn it off when it first came out. And yes, there was a difference, but I don't think it was like crazy difference. And I still don't think it's going to be a crazy difference today. So yeah, they will implement it. I think it'll be a thing, but I just don't think it's going to be mind blowing, Oskin says today's stream is a boring one because we're talking about the same dam these days. Miles, Google doesn't care about its Pixel customers. Why? Because the real moneymaker is on AdSense and services. I mean, that's a great point. That's a great point, Deepak, for sure. David also says, also no autofocus on the front camera, which would greatly increase the sharpness. You know what? I totally forgot about that. I totally forgot that was a thing. And I'm going to have to test it out because what about iPhone cameras? Do they have the autofocus on the front? I'm guessing they do, right? Anyway, moving on. Okay. Sorry, I see a lot of chat here and I appreciate it, guys. I'm not going to be able to get through all of it right now. It's also, we're about an hour and a half in. So we're going to kind of close it out here. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anyone. Team Verizon says it's ridiculous how the Pixel 4a is just launching in the UK just as they release the new ones. Yeah, so Team Verizon was on my Discord and Team Verizon was like, only what did you say, Team Verizon? Team Verizon was like, only 10 more days until the Pixel 4a ships. And I'm like, dude, it's only like 7 more days until we get the announcement for the Pixel 4a 5G and the Pixel 5. I feel so bad for you, Team Verizon, but I'm glad that you'll be able to get the Pixel 4a. C. Butler, Cryano, right? Am I saying that right? No, I probably didn't say it right. I'm sorry. Please let me know. Hey guys, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Appreciate you stopping in. Miles says, in that case, I think we are in a toxic relationship with Google. We do care about it. Oh, we're definitely in a toxic relationship. You think that like I can sit here and talk about the Pixel every goddamn day, pay $800 for this Pixel 4, this was a good price for the Pixel 4a, but I've been buying Nexus phones and Google phones for years. And every year something happens to it or something's wrong with it. And I still buy it year over year. Yeah, we're definitely in a toxic relationship with Google for sure. Okay, let me scroll down here. Giga Moment, how's it going, man? I don't think I've seen you in here before. Hi, Jerome. If only Google tried another next-gen camera sensor, I would be interested to see the results. I would be too. I would totally. I'm just waiting for them to do it. I just don't know when that's going to happen. I thought it was going to happen with the Pixel 5. I thought we were going to see something I thought we were going to get like a shakeup in the camera department, but I don't think we are. So we already know what we're going to be expecting. The only thing we're kind of on the fence about is how good is the wide angle camera going to be. That's about it. There's nothing left to be seen. Battery life, for sure. Battery life is going to be good. Is the 765G going to be good? Yeah, it'll be better than my Pixel 4a, but it won't be better than my Pixel 4. So that's about it. Right. No, why? You're totally correct. The 5 will get the visual core, pixel core, whatever. While the 4A, no, you're right. I agree with that. That's my assumption as well. Jay Mill says, I really wish Google and actually every OEM would add an ultra wide angle on the front camera. I wouldn't be opposed to that either. Why not? Why not? Fear the Roof 42 says, I'll be awaiting the Google Pixel Fitbit watch phone. Yeah, when the Pixel 6 comes out. I think that would be the earliest time we would see a Pixel watch, would be with the 6. And I feel like that's still a stretch. Probably won't even come out then. Maybe. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, 10 more days, Arai. There you go. Also, hi, Y. How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Fear the Roof 42 says, emailed you my iPhone pic that we talked about whenever you get. Yeah, I'll definitely take a look. I'm sorry. I know, Fear the Roof. Like, please know that. Like, also for people who message me or whatever, don't think I'm ignoring you. Like, I get so many messages. I don't have time to, like, between this channel and my other channel, it's a lot lately. So, but I appreciate, like, feel free to always reach out, guys. I will try to, like, get back to you, like, when I can. Oskin says, you're actually 20 minutes late today, Jerome. I'm sorry, Oskin. Yeah, I know. I'm not the most punctual. Okay, let me scroll down here. I think that's about it for today, guys. Red John Zuleku. Am I saying that right? Red John Zuleku. Hi there. I'm new here too. Welcome. It's so nice to see new members or new people come by, because I keep thinking that Google is just, or YouTube is not showing me in the algorithm. So I appreciate when people who are new are actually chiming in. I just got my Pixel 4a. Everything is perfect except the front camera for Snapchat and Instagram. It's very grainy and blurry. My Essential phone didn't have that issue. Wow, you had an Essential phone. So did I. I had the PH1. Let me share a little about that, Red John. So I have my Pixel 4a as well, and I did take video on it one day, and that was the last time I took video on the Pixel 4a, because it was bad. The video on there, I have to test the video on the Pixel 4a and the Pixel 4 and see the difference. I actually haven't given that. I need to do camera comparisons. I just need the time. But I don't disagree with you, Red John. I feel like the front camera is not the greatest on the Pixel 4a. I should start pointing that out so people understand that. I think I need more time with it to double check and make sure. But I'm with you on that. I'm glad you like it though. I'm glad everything else seems perfect for you on it. So I feel like it's a great purchase for a lot of people who are looking for a new phone. Okay. Let me see here. Oskin says, I try to reach you on Instagram because I want some articles to share with you. I share that. I know. Oskin, I'm sorry. A lot of people do. You're not the only one, Oskin. A lot of people send me articles. And I have to point this out as well. This show is called TNT Joe-Fi. It's news that I find interesting. So if there's an article that I do find interesting that you send me, yes, I might. You know what people do? Actually, if you guys want to share articles with me, well, for people who are YouTube members, you can always share it with me in the private Discord, but you can also share an article with me on Twitter and mention my name. If you mention my name, then at least I get notified that I get, like, there's an article that you want me to look at. And if I do find it interesting, I'll add it on there. So, okay, guys, I think that is going to be it for today. Guys, I want to thank everybody for stopping by. Hold on, there's somebody who I haven't seen here before. Formidable Fury. If a dual front camera Pixel phone has a big notch like on the Nord screen, then I don't want it. That's a fair point. I think at that point, then you would do like have like a small bezel on the front, but I think Google's already stepping away from that. Whether they start doing under display cameras and they can do both, but that's a good point as well. Formidable Fury. Also, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Brian with the $1 super chat at the very last moment as I was about to close things off. Brian, thank you for the support. As always, Brian is a huge contributor to the channel, to my streams. He has sent a super chat in like 99.9% of them. So Brian, thank you for the $1 super chat. Thank you for the support. As always, appreciate it so much. Ted is in here as well. Everybody who hasn't decided to say hi in chat is now saying hi. Hi, Ted. Another great show. Ted, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, man. It means a lot to me. Guys, thank you for coming by. As always, come back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central. We'll do it all over again. Thank you to everybody who did say hi in chat, to all my YouTube members, for people who are members, people who are also patrons on my channel. Thank you so much always for supporting me that way. Thank you for people who liked, who subscribed, who do all that like great stuff. It does mean a lot to me. So come back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central. We'll do it all over again. I'm about to play the outro as I start waving goodbye. Guys, see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Later.